Good morning, good morning. We are going to get started in just a minute. Thank you so much for joining us today for our virtual workshop government contracting series, How to Become SWaM Certified. My name is Heather Fay, and I am the Regional Program Director and the BODATOT Advisor for the Roanoke Regional Small Business Development Center. We're going to go ahead and get started today with a few housekeeping things. If you've been at a workshop with me before, you know I love engagement. Please use the emoticons in your Zoom menu to let the presenters and I know that something resonates with you or that you find it valuable. This workshop will last 2 hours. If you would, please keep your microphone muted as we are recording this workshop. Closed captioning is available through the Zoom menu at the bottom of your screen. And I'll also encourage you to use the chat throughout the workshop to introduce yourself, ask any questions, share resources and tips with our other presenters. And don't forget to grab a pen and paper to take notes. I will be sending the recording out after today's workshop. And so be on the lookout for that as well as the slides. All right. So for those of you who have not interacted with the Small Business Development Center before, and those of you have heard this probably multiple times, we are a small and mighty team that serves small businesses throughout the Roanoke Valley, Franklin County, Allegheny Highlands, the New River Valley. We offer confidential advising, education, workshops, events, and online resources to help your business thrive. Be sure to check out our website as shown here on the screen for free resources, worksheets, and articles that will help your business run smoothly. I will post a link to our library and our website in the chat in just a few minutes. While we do offer a lot of workshops and training, we highly encourage you to get matched with an advisor so that they can be a sidekick for all things business. If you are not in our service area, you're still welcome to go through our advisor match and we'll get you connected to one of our colleagues and one of the other 27 centers across the state of Virginia. Shown here on the screen is our advisor match. There's a few steps you go through to get matched with an advisor best suited for your business. My colleagues and I meet you where you are and provide support to you throughout the life cycle of your business. The Roanoke Regional SBDC is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration, and support is provided by America's SBDC, the Virginia SBDC, the Mason Enterprise Center at George Mason University. Pandemic capacity related grant funding has been provided by Go Virginia. Other funding is provided by local administrations, offices, organizations, and businesses that are all small business champions in your corner. A special thank you to our host, the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce, for providing space and support for our work. All these acronyms are getting tongue twisted today. I apologize. We have 3 upcoming government contracting workshops, our Hub Zone certification process, June 28th, our 8A certification process, and our Women-Owned Small Business and EDWOSB federal certification process on September 27th. I will also include links to register for those upcoming workshops, as well as in the chat, as well as in the follow-up email today. All right, and you guys are the first to know. I just heard from Roanoke City Public Schools that they are going to relaunch their annual Small Women and Minority-Owned Business event on June 30th at 1 o'clock. I will include JT Hodges' information. He is a buyer with Roanoke City Public Schools and is coordinating this event. So you all are the first to know that is they just sent me this announcement this morning. So save the date and more information to come on that. All right. Thank you so much for spending time today to work on your business. Be sure to engage with us on social and connect with us there. As I mentioned, I will share our contact information in the chat, and we look forward to continuing to support you on your journey. All right, the moment y'all have been waiting for, why we're here today. Let me introduce you to our guest and our speaker, Ramain Gohar, who is also one of our workshop partners. Lisa Wood, the government contracting series is brought to you by Virginia PTAC and the Virginia Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity, who Ramain Gohar, our speaker today, is the Business Service Manager for Central and Southwest Virginia.
Business Service Manager for Central.
All right, Ramain, I am going to stop sharing my screen and turn the microphone over to you.
Thank you so much, Heather. And
You're welcome.
I would like to welcome everyone to this class, which we call SWaM certification, or how to do business with Commonwealth of Virginia. So let me share my screen. So do you see my screen at your end?
Yes, it looks great, Ramain.
Looks good.
Yes, it looks great, Robin.
Looks good. Okay, so welcome to Selling to Commonwealth SWaM certification info. So when we talk about selling to Commonwealth, we are talking about state of Virginia. And in next slides, I will talk about the market size and what it is. Okay. So my name is Ramain Gohar. I'm Business Service Manager for Central West Virginia. You can reach out to me via this email if you need one-on-one business counseling session on some of the strategies that you're working on. If you need assistance with any of the buyer, you want to reach out, or you're working to get information about a particular agency that you're interested in doing business with, so I can help you and manage some of the information and can become the bridge for that. So in today's presentation, we will basically go through some of the key things. The one thing that we will really touch is understanding the target market. Then we will look into what competitive advantage you have as a small woman, minority, veteran-owned business. So what competitive advantage does your business have? And then we will look into access to opportunity, where all business happens. That is EVA. If you guys have not heard about it, this time I will try to share my screen and show you the live website. Then I will share some of the resources and the next steps. So a little bit introduction of Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity. So we are here to promote access to the Commonwealth of Virginia contracting opportunities and ensure fairness in the recruitment process. So that's what our goal and mission is. A lot of you guys have, before COVID, were familiar with SWaM certification. But after COVID, you must have heard about VSBFA because they were the one who handled all the COVID-related funding, PPP and other things. So, so access to the capital in terms of state-wise, we have VSBFA. On the federal one, we have SBA. On the state level, we have VSBFA. So they have various financial products that can help you in terms of getting access to the capital, whether it is raw material, working capital, access to the machinery, things like that. And they have different products for each of the need you have. The other major pillar we have is advocacy. So we advocate on the behalf of small businesses. The third is business development and outreach. So I am part of that division. What we do is that we support economic development activities, workshop, trainings, one-on-one business counseling sessions. And the last division is my certification division. They do SWaM and DBE certification. And sometime when small businesses get into SWaM certification, they overlook DBE certification. So if you have questions about DBE, please reach out to me and I will explain you what certification it is and what is the process, because process is a little bit different from the SWaM because it is the federal certification. Okay, so now what we will do is that what I want you to do is a little bit reset your mind because as a small business owner, there are a million things working in your head. And some of the common target market we can see here. One is B2C. B2C is general, normal customer. B2B is you are doing business with another business, and we can also include subcontracting here. And the third is B2G, so doing business with government entity. With government entity, we can talk about state government, federal government, public schools, counties, and cities. The reason I want you guys to little bit backstep and a little bit just forget everything because most of the businesses, when they're listening to the presentations, they are in B2C mode. So they look every strategy and create every strategy based on that mode. And that will not work in B2G. So, and then you are product manager, you are HR manager, you are payroll, handling payroll, and there are a million things, Facebook posts, all in your head. Just clear out everything and just only get into B2G. So in B2G market, some of your product strategies will change. So I will go slowly here and let's go back to the basics. Let's talk about 4 P's. So nowadays, kids in school, they are a little bit learning about they're learning about marketing, they're learning about accounting, things like that. But when we grow up, they did not talk basic psychology of marketing. We studied in university. So what is 4 P's? 4 P's is product, price, place, and promotion. So product, price, place, and promotion. So when you will make these 4 P's strategies, it will be different for each of the market. So let's talk about product. So you cannot bring the product you already have. That, let's suppose you are providing to general public, or you have Amazon store, or you are a supplier, or you have a counseling service, or whatever do you have. You cannot bring that product and service as is to this market. You have to change your product offering. It is called product packaging, product portfolio. It could be anything, but it will change in this market because this market is dictated by the buyer who is buying, and you have to change your business based on that. So first is the product. Second is the pricing. So this is the most important thing where a lot of businesses struggle on the pricing, and it is competitive pricing. Bidding is all about price war, and who will get the right price. Plus, you also have to consider that it is not your normal, let's suppose if I am selling uh, Facebook, let's suppose I'm selling like cups, and I put those logos and I sell to general public, and then I'm also selling to one of the department. So my pricing would not be same. My pricing would be different if I'm doing business with the government. It might be a little bit premium pricing or higher pricing uh, because it has something to do with the trust, with the liability, and then things goes on when you're doing business with government entity. And then I can a little bit talk also about contracting. So if you have one contract, how it will affect other contracts that you can get into, and how that affect or help your business. So product, price, place, and promotion. So promotion, you will not get any business by doing Facebook posts, spending millions on the marketing. In this market, it will not contribute into sales. So here, the best, I would say, your promotion material would be a business card, and on the back of the side, you have your commodity codes. If you're doing business and meeting a federal agency, your NAICS code, capability statement. So that those are some of the promotional items that would be very much effective, because if you see from the buyer point of view, they are looking specific information. They don't want to see your ads, your promotion materials, things like that. They want specific information about who you are, what you do, where are you located, what certification do you have, things like that. And you can achieve that. And in last presentation, I think Lisa talked about capability statement, how to create one. And if you don't have one, I would suggest to reach out to Heather and get in touch and get the template for that one. And then the sales cycle. So sales cycle is usually referred to account receivable and your cash flow. Because what happens sometime when I have spoken with a lot of businesses, and some of the businesses have left out or get out of the contract because not having a proper account receivable and cash flows. So one thing you have to understand is that if you are performing a job or you are providing a product or anything, usually in government, in this market, account receivable is 45 days. So you have provided service now, you will get paid roundabout after 45 days. So how this bridge of 45 days will cover? So usually it is credit lines that can help you. I will not, if you are very initial business, credit cards would be something that you can look into, but I would suggest build relationship with your local banks, and most importantly, credit unions or smaller banks in your community, and work with them and explain them what kind of business you do, because once you will get into the cycle, the most I would say troubling thing, handling cash flows, payroll, purchasing, and all that thing, you might get into this long bridge of cash flow deficit. And once if you get there and somehow you are not able to perform according to what you have promised, things will become a little bit difficult for you in future to get more contracts, especially with that agency. They will think twice in doing business with you again if you have those kind of operational problems. So I would suggest you to think about these things when you those top strategies when you are doing business with the government. Uh, Now, let's back to Commonwealth of Virginia. So there are 245 state agencies and 900 local public bodies that use EVA. So let's suppose I'm a consultant and I provide educational consulting services. 245 state agencies means that there are 245 individual buyers and 900 public local bodies. And if I am educational consultant, I have to create my market niche. I have to break it down, top 10 customers. What are top 10 customers? Most commonly, Department of Education, all the schools, all the universities would common sensely will come on the top. And then slowly and gradually, you can run EVA reports. And based on the commodity codes, you will be surprised how many state agencies are there that are buying your product. Let me go to the chat and oh yeah, Hither has shared. I'm just looking an example of any business. Okay, maintenance and construction. Just right maintenance and construction. So most commonly, construction, you will think about VDOT, and maintenance would be all state agencies that have in-person offices. And in construction, you will be surprised to see almost every state agency is involved in construction, especially schools, universities, departments that have state field offices. So you have to little bit research in EVA to pick top 10 state agencies and then pursue them, rather than going into EVA and getting a little bit confused to where to start from. And then we are talking about market volume. So how big is this market? Commonwealth of Virginia, 8.6 million orders, more than 7 billion spent. So this data is from 2017, I think, or 18. So this would have been increased. So for me, if I have an educational consulting business, how hard it would be to get one order or two orders in 8.6 million orders, and how hard it would be for me to get a share from this 7 billion spend. So just think about this 7 billion spend. There are a lot of countries that would be their state budget. If you look around, I'm not I don't know how many of you are interested in international business, but we can see how the supply chain affects everything. So the 7 billion is right here. We are only talking about Commonwealth of Virginia. So you can get your share. You have to be a little bit logical, a little bit strategical, and just think in a common sense way. You don't have to go and hire another person to help you. You just need a little bit common sense in understanding this segment. But there is competition. It is not that it is low-hanging fruit. You can go and you can get it. There are right now, I think it's more than 95,000 vendors. So there are 95,000 businesses after the 7 billion spend. So that's you're competing with. But there is a competitive advantage that you have. Now let's see what is that competitive advantage. That is your SWaM certifications. Why? Because each agency has a goal to achieve 42% in SWaM spend goal. So let's suppose around that 7 billion, 42% should go to SWaM certified businesses. And in the every state has different law. Commonwealth of Virginia has 2 set aside. One set aside is for micro, one set aside is for small. And I will also tell you what those set aside means. So if there is a small purchase, less than $10,000, most probably it would be a single quote, and the award priority is for micro business. So set aside is for micro business. And if the purchase is between 10,000 and 100,000, it is competitive bid. And usually it is award priority is small business. So set aside is for small business. And just a random example of this single code. If let's suppose I want to buy a mouse, I want to buy a keyboard or anything like that, like a monitor or thing, what I will go into EVA, I will type that product, and then there will be some of the suppliers that provide those products. I will reach out to them and I will get a single code. And I will reach out to a couple of more. And first of all, I will see which business has micro certification. So that would be my first choice. So let's suppose it is not it is not that we are like usually like we are buying from Amazon. So no, it is businesses who are registered in EVA and suppliers here. They provide most of the goods and the services to Commonwealth. So that is the single code. And let's suppose if between 10,000 to 100,000, let's suppose we are doing a conference and we have to do 4 or 5 conferences a year, and we have a marketing budget to spend on different giveaway products of, like, let's suppose 50,000. So we will put RFI or RFP in the EVA, and there would be a competitive bid, and the first priority would be small business. So if you have that certification, it's most commonly if there is a business putting a bid from California or somewhere else, he might not have a small SWaM certification, which we talk about Virginia small business certification. And if your business is in Virginia and it has small business certification, so that business would have the first priority. But now here, now let's again talk about the pricing, the second P. So the difference should be less than 10%. So if there is a business out there in California, they have the difference between you and them is greater than 10%, then by law, we have to choose another business other than small. So the price difference should be less than 10%. Okay, now large purchases. So those purchases are over $100,000. There are two methods to do that. One method is IFP, invitation for the bids. The second is request for proposal. IFP is competitive seal bidding, specific terms, detailed specification, and award is based on the price. Invitation for bids, and now let's talk about the first P, which is product or your service. So invitation for bid mean exactly the same thing, exactly the same quantity and detailed specification. That what government is buying and that what you have to provide. You cannot say, you have said red color, but look, the trend is yellow. Let's go with yellow because I have yellow. No, it will not work like that. So that's why you have to do research in EVA and look into the past orders based on your commodity codes. Let's suppose like 4 or 5 years. What is common things that businesses are buying? A common example would be VDOT, maintenance trucks. They clean stuff like that, roads, things like that, snow removal. They might need a specific part. So they need a specific item, specific thing, exactly the same. That where you have to do some research and provide specific thing. Now, request for proposal is a little bit different. Now, request for proposal is that they want to somehow listen from you. They can, so request for proposal is, it is a document of a problem. And when you read that problem, you reply back with reply to an RFP. So you are replying to solve that problem. So in that you have little bit options to present, a little bit more flexibility. So competitive negotiations, vendor purpose solution, 2 or more offer are selected for negotiation. Sometime you will get into that also. And award is made to best overall proposal. So as you see in IFP, it is more leaning towards the pricing, but RFP is more leaning towards the solution. And when you, most of you are in the business, and I don't know right now how many of you have replied to RFPs, and a lot of the time the most common thing is that I have replied to 10 different RFPs and I have not received a single contract. So what I would suggest to you is that what solution did you provide it? And did you solve the problem which was presented in RFPs? And don't underestimate your competitors. So if let's suppose you have provided an RFP and you have responded to an RFP and you have not received a contract, because there is a transparency in federal and state recruitment processes, you can go back and see which business has got that contract. And you can see their pricing, you can see what was the response and things like that, and then you can learn from it. So if you want to be successful in this market, you have to be, first of all, flexible. Second, you have to have little patience. And third, you have to say many times, I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So that that shield you have, like sometimes CEOs and small business owners, it is very hard for them to tell them that, oh, I am wrong, I did mistake. By saying that, they think uh, they will just come down and their business will so you give some rest to your shoulders and say sometime like, oh yeah, you made a mistake, you don't know. Because a lot of the businesses that I work with, they are good in marketing, they don't know anything about the finance. And some people are very good in operations, they don't know how to speak or negotiate. So just understand that you don't have a good you don't know anything, everything. And then learn or attend classes on those things. I have experience with Roanoke SBDC. They provide ton of counseling and classes. If you lack in anything and you are a little bit shy from yourself or shy from your team, that telling them that you have some weaknesses, SBDC is best resource. They can guide you in the right direction. They can give you the classes. All the classes are free of cost. So you don't have, like most of the classes, other than their nominal charges like $15 and $10. So what is SWaM certification? So SWaM certification. So if your business is less than 250 employees and less than in 10 million in gross revenue, then it is eligible for small businesses certification. And in Virginia, 95 to 99% businesses are small businesses. That's why we have created a micro. I will explain you what it is. A woman business, at least 51% owned and controlled by women business owner. So own and control means it is not on the paper. Like mostly it happens with couples. They get like 51% to women, but all the business is handled by uh, another partner. So you have to own and control, especially in DBE certification, because they do in-person interviews. And I can talk to my experience to few of the DBE interviews I went to. It was 51% owned by women. And in the interview, they didn't know anything about what the business is, like how the work is performed, what type of services do they provide. So where you will not get DBE certification. So and then if it is a partnership business or it is LLC, things like that, there are stock ledgers, stock certificates. So make sure your paper, like you are good on the papers. The minority business, at least 51% owned and controlled by the minority who are US citizen or legal resident. Then there are two other certification, which is micro business certification. So micro business certification is, I would say, the most important certification to differentiate yourself from some of the bigger fish out there. So not more than 25 employees and no more than 3 million in annual revenue. No more than 25 employees and no more than 3 million in average revenue. And this is all about thinking. A lot of small businesses, when I get one-on-one counseling with them, I tell them, I think you're eligible for small women, small and micro business. No, I'm not micro. so they think like, no, I'm not micro. So micro does not mean that you're very small. Nine, like this country is running on the micro businesses. Okay, so you are the backbone of the economy. It is just how it is divided. So a lot of businesses I reach out to back, you are eligible for the micro, why you have not selected. They only have not selected because they think micro will make them like really small. It is not like that. It is just to protect you more in the recruitment process. So less than 25 employees and no more than 3 million in revenue. Service disabled veteran, a business that has been approved in the service disabled veteran owned small business program by Virginia Department of Veteran Affairs. Okay. So there are about 14,000 approved SWaM business, a SWaM certified business in Virginia, which is about 700,000 businesses. 97% are small, or 5,000. And I would say like almost 7,000 businesses are micro certified businesses. And if I reach out to more and more small business, you will see that number goes up. They just don't apply. Sometimes they don't understand what micro business certification is. In 2016, the Commonwealth spent 37%, 2.4 billion with small businesses. And this is 2022, and this number is way up. The goal is 42%. I don't have numbers, but these are the old numbers. It would be way above than this one. So certification portal, SWaM certification is now done online. There are no papers application, everything is online. The standard processing time is 60 business days. So once you have complete the certification process, it will take 60 business days to get approved. And once you are approved, you are good for 5 years. I will send you this presentation. I will send it to Heather, and Heather will reach out to you. And here you can go into each of those links and I can explain what those are. The number one is the certification portal where you can go and apply for the certification. The second is the manual. Like this is for your reading, but if you open that and you think this is too much, just close it and contact me, and I can do one-on-one SWaM certifications so we can complete the process in one sitting. Before we do that, this is the last one. It is list of required documents. So there are the list of required documents that are needed to apply for the certification. I would suggest you should have that before starting the certification process. So what those supporting documents are: proof of US citizenship, both that could be your DMV license. The other thing, passport, birth certificate, permanent resident card, certificate of neutralization. I met with a lot of clients. They don't know where their birth certificate is, and they have never applied for passport, or it's expired. Completely fine. We move a lot, and then hard to find papers. So that sometime it will take time to find out this stuff, but all these are, you can get all of those. Business tax returns for current year, and then last 2 years. First page of 941. So if you have employees, you are filing 941s. If you don't have any employees, just don't worry about it. And if you are an owner and you are treating and you're thinking that you are an employee, if you are taking salary, like monthly or bi-weekly or quarterly, and there's a system, then you are an employee. If you're not taking salary, you're doing owner withdrawal, you are not an employee in the business. Document proof of owner contribution. If the business was started in last 5 years, you have to show a little bit of paperwork, how the money is transferred, how did you spend money to open the business. Resume, owner resume, copies of professional license and permits. Most probably you would have like a business license from your city or the county. And if your business comes under some kind of permit, you might have some permit also. Additional documents based on the structure of the business. If you are a corporation, so certificate of incorporation, articles of incorporation, corporate bylaws, minute from the last most recent stockholder meeting, minute from the most recent board of director meetings, both site of stock certificates and stock ledger. Many businesses who start this process and they say they have never done stockholder meeting, they don't have any minutes from the board of the meetings. You can get those templates online and you can complete those, or you can contact Roanoke SPDC. They can provide templates. Most of those templates you can get that. Stock ledger is also a template, both side of stock certificates. So sometime if it is a generational business and if you bought business from someone or you started this business like 10, 12 years ago, and you might have forgot all of these things, that where they are, how to find them, but there's a process. I know it is a little bit like, oh my God, why there are so many documents? But there is no other way around it. You have to provide those certificates. And let's suppose if you don't have any stock ledger, your certification will stop there. You can go around, talk to anyone, complain about anyone, it will not move. There's no exemption, nothing. You have to provide those documents. And if you have any trouble in finding those documents or locating those, contact me and I will reach out. I will provide resources. Most common business is LLC, limited liability company. So certificate of organization, articles of organization, and operating agreement. These are the 3 documents that you need. Most time businesses have certificate of organization and not articles of organization or operating agreement. They have articles of organization, but operating agreement, that template, Roanoke SPDC can provide that. And in past, Heather, I have contacted Tom, and he has some kind of updated version where they can get that operating agreement. If your business is sole proprietorship, not an LLC, not a corporation, then current business license and certificate of fictitious name. So if you have never applied or got certificate of fictitious name, you can get that from the court of the clerk. It is, I think, $10 is a fee. You have to fill out a form and they will give you a certificate. If it is a franchise, then there is franchise agreement. And if there is a partnership, then there is a partnership agreement. So when you will log into the certification portal, this would be the first thing that will come on your screen. And if you have never been to this website, you will go and register yourself. So I'm not spending much time here. I'm just scrolling out so you know what you will see over there. So on the registration, you will see this. Once you have registered, you will receive an email like this. you have to click confirm your account. You will see this, your activation is complete. And then you will come back here, log in with your username and password. Once you are back, you will see this screen. You will click on link application and you will put your EIN number over here. If your business is LLC or a corporation, EIN number. If your business is sole proprietorship or DBA, then your social security. And this how it will look like, the starting of the application. Okay, and then you can also check the status of your application. So, so this SWaM certification, what I would suggest you, because there's a lot of information that goes here, and there is a list of, there are a lot of documents that are required. And if you're doing it for the first time, I would suggest you to schedule one-on-one appointment with me, and it would be a virtual appointment, and you will share your screen and you will keep putting the information. And if you have any questions, you will ask me, and then you will upload and submit the application. So you're not like in back and forth position. So all the business happens in EVA. EVA is Virginia recruitment portal. All the bidding, quotes, orders is the only website that handles. There is no other website. 245 state agencies, about 800 local government, and 13,000 users. If you have not yet registered to EVA, what you need to register is EIN number, or a social security if it is sole proprietorship, W-9, and the commodity codes. So this how EVA website look like. So you will go here. If you have already registered, you will go to vendor login. Otherwise, you will go to register now. Over here, you have seen like business opportunities. You will go here to find the contracts. Then there is transparency, where you can go and look for the reports, statewide contracts, and resources on this top tab. I would say start with the transparency, look the past reports, and do a little bit research. Okay, this is vendor registration. So on the EVA, the most important thing is the commodity codes. On the state level, it is called commodity codes, which is NIGP codes. On the federal level, it is called NAICS code. There are two different types of codes. And there is code for every business. Yesterday, I was working with a business who provide wood finishing. And there is no commodity code for wood finishing. There is a commodity code for carpentering. And in carpentering, then there is area where they talk about wood finishing. And then in construction, they talk about wood finishing. So you have to be a little bit flexible and little bit, think a little bit about choosing your commodity code. If you're not able to find exactly commodity code for your product and service, choose your industry. Which industry are you in? And choose that commodity code. Because if I am a buyer, I will not type your business name. I will not type anything. I will type commodity codes. And if your business will show up there in the commodity code, then then there's only one-way communication to the buyer. That is commodity codes. That tells EVA buyer what you sell. And so EVA has also a match make when there is an RFP or any solicitation that matches your commodity code, you will get an email. And the second thing I will suggest to you is that there's a lot of complaint that we get like so many emails from EVA that has nothing to do with us. What you can do is that when you receive that, go back to your EVA and cross, like I think there are faces, and make a sad face. So it is a running system, and they can updated EVA, and it will, after you will see 2 or 3 months of using EVA, you will the system will opportunity you're looking for. So you will keep getting those which are closer to your product and service. So if you have any questions on EVA, you can hear me, Heather, yeah? Okay, good. So if you have any questions on EVA, you can contact them or you can email them. On June 8th, there will be a 2-hour workshop, virtual workshop on EVA and how to find the opportunities. It is posted on SBDC event page, and I will also send out link. So I think this is very good schedule for you guys, that now you have attended the SWaM. The next you should attend on June 8th, which is SWaM, which is EVA. So if you need one-on-one business counseling session, you can reach out to me via my email. Thank you today for the presentation and joining us. I tried to complete my presentation in 1 hour, and then we can, Heather, we can move into questions and things like that. Let me see in the chat box if there are any.
Terrific. Thank you so much for a great presentation. So informative as always. I'm going to stop the recording, and that way we can move into question and answer.